people, man. You know what I'm talking about, man. It's your partner, man. Who? You know, it's your partner, man. Who? It's your partner, man. Who? You know what I'm talking about? Man, what's good with the people, man? How is y'all doing on this sucker safety Saturday? You say sucker safety Saturday? What you talking about, bro? We gonna get into it, but before we do that, what's good? People like he ha ha Ken in the pen. All my folks incarcerated, all my folks who ain't, everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing. Keep that head up. Keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it, man. You know what I'm talking about? Uh, I'm in a little bit of rest this morning, y'all. So y'all know my normal shout outs, man. Ndugu, Cutthroat, Mike, a little rude, not a little rude. Lil Rue, you know what I'm talking about? Tata the player, that's who comes next. Same thing. All my folks incarcerated, all my folks who ain't. Everybody on the bottom of that thing, everybody on top of that thing. Keep that head up. Keep pushing. We gonna get through it to get to it, man. Now look, man, I don't promote no drugs usage, no drugs sellage. I don't promote no alcohol consumption. Don't take a sip of the sippage. Man, I don't promote no crime. I don't promote no crime. I don't promote no violence. I don't promote no domestic violence. Keep your hands off the people, you know what I'm talking about? I don't promote no negativity. No, man. I don't promote nothing, man. I ain't prejudiced. I ain't got nothing against the sexually different. I ain't got nothing against the little people, man. I ain't got nothing against nobody, man. You know what I'm talking about? I love everybody. I'm on a quest out here, man. Make sure that I'm on a quest, you know what I'm talking about? Bring that peace, that love, all that stuff back to YouTube community, man. You know what I'm talking about? Is you with me? You know what I'm talking about? And all that right there, man. But what's good with the people, man? How is you doing on this Coffee Chronicles? You know what I'm talking about? Man, I almost forgot. You know what I'm talking about? Mama say brush your whiskers when you on TV. Yeah, sucker safety. Sucker safety Saturday, man. You know what I'm talking about. They say, bro, what's do the? Cause I just be seeing some of the craziest shit. You know what I'm talking about? New music uploaded, man. My Bluetooth tripping, man. But go check me out. It's called 21 Questions. I told you I got my own questions for you niggas, man. Coffee Chronicles. You say, bro, what you talking about? Sucker safety. Now, before I even get into this shit right here, man, I'm gonna speak on something real quick, cause y'all crazy as a motherfucker. You know, I be following sports, so I'm still checking out this. I mean, this shit being old, man, because we just get done anyway. You know what I'm talking about? So the shit been old, but it just kills me how much hate we got for each other, folks. To where that Ryan Garcia shit, to where the man came out called all the black fuck you black people. I wish I was part of the KK. Now you ain't even got to get offended by that shit, bro. You can make any excuses you want to. I'm not telling you you should be offended. If you don't, I can't make you be offended by somebody. It ain't even about that, man. What I see is though that because you know everybody was around here just teasing nephew because they was happy. You know what I'm talking about? Because they don't want to. They just didn't like nephew or his daddy or something like that. But long story short, the same shit that be going on. You know what I'm talking about? You hating on your people. You know what I'm talking about? That's all that really be going on. You hating on your people. But I read some shit to where one of the motherfuckers that was hating on nephew, the man that said some shit like it still don't matter that he ain't even tripping off the essay doing all that shit. He's steadily trying to down nephew and shit. And that's just sucker coward shit, folks. It's like, man, that's sucker shit, folks. It is. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I ain't gonna trip off this other race or this, you know what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna trip off these people who done cheated us. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't gonna trip off of what this man said, cause my whole motherfucking thing was just making fun of the little youngster. That shit just didn't mean nothing, man. I mean, I ain't gonna say mean nothing, but that shit was it's just mind-boggling, folks. That motherfucker was like, man, so what? I don't care what he said, and he's still talking about nephew. But this shit ain't even about nephew no more, man. This man just said, fuck all black people. You know what I'm talking about, bro? This shit is, and you right over there with him, still fucking with the black people. You know what I'm talking about? That shit just didn't make no sense to me. But what it is, bro, That's just the that's just these niggas' way of saving face. You know what I mean? Cause they was sitting there, they was it wasn't so much that they even like that nigga. You know what I'm talking about? They just hate nephew. You get what I'm saying? So it could have been the alien that did that. They would have defended the alien. It ain't so much the person. It's just I told you we living in them days where it's just the person you don't like. So whoever you don't like, you could just tease them forever. But I was looking at that shit, bro, and some of y'all just too old to be the way y'all is, bro. It's like a bunch of y'all just never grew up. Y'all still saying, your mama wear panties, your mama don't, nan type shit. You feel what I'm saying? I seen a nigga, cause this is a nigga out here, he good for that too. You be in the nigga comments talking about and you ain't gonna do nothing about it. Neither is you, folks. You gonna do the same shit you telling that motherfucker. What you gonna do about it? The same thing you gonna do? Nothing. Just sit on this internet and talk and threaten people. You ain't gonna do nothing either. Sucka, you know what I'm talking about? Sucker safety, man. But I just found that odd that we be having so much hate for each other that when another motherfuckers disrespect us, you overlook that and still find some way to disrespect your own. That shit crazy as a motherfucker, bro. Sucker safety. But it's just funny, but all it is all the motherfuckers was sitting right there backing the motherfucker, you know what I'm talking about? Now they gotta kinda eat their words. Now the motherfucker that they was backing then basically said fuck them too. You know what I'm talking about? So for them not to address that, you know what I'm talking about? So for them not to address that, because nobody wants to be wrong. You know what I'm talking about? Nobody wants to say, oh man, I was defending this motherfucker right here, and nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to still seem right. So they still trying to explain the stand they took. You get what I'm saying? And that's all that be right there, man. That's all that be. But it was just funny to me that the nigga came out and said, fuck all niggas. And motherfuckers still talking about nephew. Man, when that man said that, he just changed the landscape of all that shit. You get what I'm saying? Motherfucker show you how you really feel. And motherfuckers over there talking about so what, man. It still don't. I heard motherfuckers say so what. Him being racist still has nothing to do with this nigga not ducking from a hook or some shit like that. Like, even though this nigga is racist right now, that still has nothing to do about him not being able to get out the way of a hook. Nigga, something straight out of comic book, bro. I ain't bullshitting with you. But let me hurry up with this shit, man. Sucker safety. They say, all right, that go, man, because I just watched some shit. I just watched some shit last night on Real Earth. I just watched a motherfucker sit right here and and basically, what's that word? Not embellish, but basically just start some shit, bro, and call the police. I said, what, bro? You sitting here, you looking at the shit the people they you know what I'm talking about? They getting it on, doing all this shit right here, bro. I ain't never understood how a motherfucker I ain't never understood how a motherfucker could come bother you and somehow call the police. I ain't never understood that, bro. Even though I done seen it my whole life, but I ain't never understood that. You know what I mean? Or you sit right there, man, you watching the motherfucker. And the other motherfuckers, they telling the loud motherfucker, man, just go on about your business, man. You know what I'm talking about? Motherfuckers just got through celebrate. Motherfucker ain't even in this spirit. This shit you on right here. Because most of the time when somebody come over there bothering you, I ain't bullshitting with you. Sucker security. Sucker safety. They like they on the bullshit when the motherfucker come bother you. I just ain't like say you in your house and the motherfucker come over there That's some bullshit they on. You know what I'm talking about? They coming to invade your space. They coming to invade your peace. All that shit right there, man. Sucker safety. And that shit just be killing me how a motherfucker that like start the shit, they done came, these people live way across town or something, man. They done came over here and disturbed you in the confines of your own home, man. And them people somehow still be able to call the police. That should be crazy as a motherfucker to me, man. I ain't never understood that. I ain't never understood that because you never had to be there in the first place. You could have stayed where you was at, man. So you made a conscious effort to come over here bothering these people, disturbing their peace. You know what I'm talking about? But sucker safety is just like that. And that's kind of like the way of the world now. You know what I'm talking about? And then the police come and the police steadily trying to like hear the motherfucker out who then came way across town to these other people's house. Like common sense should just tell you, like, man, you ain't even have to be over here, man. You out of pocket. You know what I'm talking about? But everybody got their reason for why they over there. Coffee Chronicle. And just sucker safety. Because that's where we at in the world with it right now, man. To where we could bother other people. We could stir up shit. We could instigate shit. We could just be in the middle. We right at the beginning of where that shit end. I mean, where that shit began, right? We don't never be around where that shit finna end, though. We don't. We just start that shit and go on about our business. Come throw a punch every now and then, you know what I'm talking about, and then go run. Throw a rock, hide your head. But we just living in that day right there, folks. Where basically, I've been telling you, it's just getting to the point where you could go do anything you want to. But we just living in that day where people not using the best of their common sense. Like it's just real popular to antagonize people and fuck with people and do all this shit, folks. And then somehow, the best way to explain this shit. So you want to come over here with all your tricks, all your fuckery, all this bullshit, right? You want to come over here with all that shit, trying to fuck with somebody else with it, right? Now, in the moment the person responds and that shit is above what you want to deal with, then you get to call the police. You know what I'm talking about? And that's all that should be. Just like them people that was arguing, man, that shit wasn't nothing but a motherfucker mad. Somebody else was, whatever the fuck they was doing, they was in their house doing it. You know what I'm talking about? And that's all, Brett kept on saying. Like, man, I'm in my house, man. You know what I'm talking about? I'm in my house, man. That's what Brett kept on saying. But somehow he was still getting jammed up. Didn't nobody get in trouble though. You feel me? Now didn't nobody get in trouble. You know what I'm talking about? Of course the bitch get leniency. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, of course the bitch gonna get leniency because the bitch gonna sit there and she gonna tell the police her feelings and what she think and all that shit. Didn't nobody get in trouble though, you know what I'm talking about? But it ain't even the point of nobody getting in trouble or whatever. It's just the point if you at your own motherfucking house, somebody come over there, then bought all this racket to your motherfucking house, then you get to call the police on them. And when the police come here, I still gotta sit here and get interrogated and all this shit when I'm in my motherfucking house. And I still gotta sit out here and answer questions and all this shit right here. You know what I'm talking about? About a motherfucker disturb my peace, man. That shit crazy as a motherfucker. I ain't bullshit with you, man. It's just crazy, man. Sucka safety. Coffee Chronicles. And it's just fucked up because that's bad game, man. Because there's a lot of y'all somewhere running around with that philosophy right there, bruh. That you finna go fuck with somebody, you finna go do all this shit, and if it ever gets to a point where you feel this is too much, you get to call the police, you know what I'm talking about, and get somebody else in trouble. Because that's your Joker card right there. Especially black man. Because as a black man, that's one thing that is scared the shit out of black man going to jail. You know what I'm talking about? So motherfucker be. So everybody use that against them. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just gonna send him to jail. They already know how they look at the black man. But that shit just crazy to me in this day and age. Sucker safety. That you feel confident in fucking with people. You feel confident in bothering people. You feel confident in all that bullshit that you doing because if it ever get too much for you to handle, you just gonna call the police. Now see, that's that foul format I was telling you about yesterday, folks. You know what I'm talking about? And this the shit we do. We don't pass down, just leave people alone, mind your own business and all that shit. We don't. Nah, we ain't gonna teach that. What we gonna teach you to do is go around fucking with people, be as disrespectful as you can, jump in everybody's business, and if it get too much for you, just hit 911. Sucker safety. Saturday it is. It is. And I see that more than anything, folks. You know what I'm talking about? I see that more than anything. Because when I was watching that shit right there, I'm like, man, ain't no telling what that nigga was doing. That nigga could have been in there fucking on his other bitch. Whatever he was doing, man, they just came and inconvenienced this man. Now he all outside. It ain't like he was finna get in trouble with nothing, but it damn near looked like it. You know what I'm talking about? I was thinking to myself, how can another motherfucker show up at your house and somehow you still get interrogated like you was in the wrong? I talking about football. I'm still looking for the Warriors to land somebody, man. I'm on the lookout for the Warriors gonna land. I told y'all that. But yeah, I was just sitting there like, man, that's just a big ass inconvenience. It's not like they went over there bothering them people and the people called the police on them. It ain't even like the people came over there bothering them. It ain't even like the people that they came over there to bother called the police. The people with all the bothering is the one who called the police. Do you understand how much racket that is, bruh? Do you understand how much inconvenience that is, folks? You just sitting down, bruh, it's a good ass football game on. It's a good ass boxing match on. You just sitting down watching that shit. Then the next thing you know, in the next 2 minutes, there's a motherfucker banging with all this hoopla outside your house, fight getting real good, bruh. Then this motherfucker call the police. Now you got it, cause you ain't gonna let them come inside your house. Don't never do that, y'all. Well, I'm just saying that, bruh. I don't give a fuck if it's somebody in the house, bruh. Who, like, if you got 5 people in the house, bruh, and police coming around there, you got to relay to them 5 people. Not damn one of you motherfuckers tell them police they can step inside this house, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Don't never invite the police in your house, because once you invite them in your house, bruh, they don't even need no search warrant. They could walk up in that motherfucker, see something, smell something, they could just start searching there, because they have permission to be up in there. Don't never invite them people in your house like a vampire. Coffee Chronicles. Y'all don't never invite them people in your house like a vampire, man. Don't do it. They'll turn that motherfucking, and you can fuck around, be the one who called them, and they'll come in there and still start something. I'm telling you, bruh. I'm telling you. I done seen it. But, I could just imagine that shit, folks. You just sitting at your house doing your thing, and now you gotta sit here and talk to the police like you done went out here and committed a crime. But from the jump, you wasn't doing nothing but in your peace, relaxing. This shit is getting out of hand, folks. I ain't bullshitting with you. While I'm sitting there looking at this shit, man, that shit took me back. That other situation was a little bit different, but it took me back when the story I got, I don't know what it's called. I think it's the party nobody knew about. Because they had got us that day talking about it was a party somewhere. And we went over there and it wouldn't. But when we got over there, they told us, they pointed us in the direction of another party. But it was me, Lee, and Answer G. But that's the night we seen them hoes fighting task force. See, that situation right there was a little bit different. Because the bitch because the hoes who was fighting task force, they came to the other bitch house. But the other bitch who had actually called the police, see, she played a dirty trick on them hoes right there. Because the bitch who, she was talking hella shit, fucking with them hoes and all that shit. So I guess she done told them hoes to come around here and we finna get down. But all that bitch did was get them hoes good in front of her house and call task force on her. You know what I'm talking about? Task force pulled up. They steadily telling this bitch, come on down there, bitch. Woo, talking all that shit. Come on. The other bitch talked to, she talked a good amount of shit just to keep them right there in front, man. Taz jumped out them hoes, They start fighting task force. Nigga, on my mama. Until this day, I seen them hoes do something. I had to sit down and think. But I seen, I seen a few niggas slam the police. You know what I'm talking about? But, and to this day, I seen them hoes do something I ain't seen too many niggas do, though, man. Them hoes was out there throwing them with Taz, folks. Because Task Force was roughing they partner up. Taz was roughing the bitch up, nigga. The other bitch, nigga, get off my partner. Them hoes was running up on Taz out there fighting. All them hoes got clothesline and body slam, but, them hoes put in a valid effort. On some real shit. If that was some niggas, though, everybody would have been dead. The police would have shot everybody. I ain't bullshitting with you. Them hoes was running up on the police with purses. Yeah, if that was a nigga, the police would have been shot a nigga. Blew his motherfucking face smooth off. Them hoes was running full speed. You know what I'm talking about? At the task force. I seen one of them hoes run full speed at the task force. The other nigga clotheslined that bitch, man, like he intercepted. You know what I'm talking about? That shit was like a wrestling match. That shit was hella funny, blood. I ain't bullshit with you. I think the story though is called The Party Nobody Knew About. Cause that's when the street people was against the college kids. The nigga down there arguing with the bitch over the baby. Coffee Chronicle. Talking about, man, just give me my son, niggas. 12 o'clock, nigga. Niggas be playing too much sometimes, but nigga wanted the baby. But Sucka safety, man. And that shit go all the way around the board. It ain't just about the police. It's just about all that sucker shit people doing just to go run. You know what I'm talking about? Be the equivalent you at work or something, and it's a nigga there, might be the boss's son. You know that nigga that always get a pass. He could do everything else. You know how that shit is. The sucker safety. Motherfuckers do shit because they feel they have because they feel that they have like a security blanket. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I'm gonna keep on doing this. Like somebody, you remember how when you was little or something, a motherfucker, they was some marks like a motherfucker. They was a sucker like a motherfucker, but they had them big badass cousins everybody was scared of. So these niggas used to just be walking around doing hella shit. They wasn't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm talking about? You can slap the shit out of one of them, but they gonna threaten you with their cousin. You know what I'm talking about? Like that shit right there. Sucker safety. You know what I'm talking about? Where you ain't banking on you gonna hold you down. You know what I'm talking about? You running around here doing shit with the belief that you could call somebody to handle the situation. You know what I'm talking about? If it get out of hand for you. But until it get out of hand for you, you gonna be running around here out of hand. It's sucker safety, man. You know what I'm talking about? Sucker safety. I ain't bullshitting with you. I ain't. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to everybody who got jumped because they friends lied to him. We got your back. I see. You know what I'm talking about? I don't even know if that's my second time telling that joke. I just don't remember saying nothing, man. Y'all know how bro fuck with it. That shit just come up in bro head, man. But yeah, man, I'm finna get up out of here because like I said, man, I got shit to do this morning. But sucker safety, man. And a lot of us do that, man, because we feel we got backup. You know what I'm talking about? A lot of y'all do that shit because y'all feel y'all friends popular or your family members popular, or some of y'all just do it because you know you're going to call the police. But we be running around this motherfucker with a security blanket. And that shit gives us a false confidence. And it make you a different person. Because you running around here doing shit just because that. You know what I'm talking about? You went over here fucking with these people knowing if they got too loud or they did something you wasn't gonna like, you was gonna call the police. And that be everybody ace card, you know what I'm talking about? Because the police just gonna come and make everything slow motion. They gonna come shut shit down. You know what I'm talking about? They ain't leaving until they figure out what's going on. Coffee Chronicles. And that's just some sucker shit, especially if you the one that's running around here fucking with people. And that's your Trump in the ace. You fuck with people because you gonna call the police. Or just any of that shit, bro. You running around here fucking people because your cousins and them and some killers or just any of that shit, bro. That's just sucker shit, bro. You not doing normal shit that you would normally do. You doing shit just because you got or you think you have this ace card in the back of your hand. You know what I'm talking about? You gonna fuck around and miscount the cards one day doing that shit, folks. You know what I'm talking about? And you gonna fuck around and you gonna think you had the big joker. You know what I'm talking about? But you missed the mark on the card. That wasn't the big joker you had this time. That was the little one. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that was the little joker. The big joker's still out here somewhere, and they say he real big. You know what I'm talking about, man? On some real shit. You should never do, I can't tell you what you should never do. Actually go on and do that shit, see what it do for you. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I can't never tell you what you should never do, folks, but that's just a sucker's way of thinking. For one. If you out here doing shit and you know you doing shit and like you not even gonna defend yourself, you gonna like you just doing shit because you know you gonna call the police. You just doing shit because you gonna go get your uncle, you gonna go get your brother, you gonna go all that shit right there, folks. What's gonna end up happening one day, you gonna put yourself in a situation and you ain't gonna be able to go get nobody. You know what I'm talking about? And that's what I don't get. I don't get why we be like if you just understood how quick shit happens for nothing, you know what I'm talking about? How quick shit be escalating for nothing. You might not have a desire to be manufacturing shit, like making up shit happening. You know what I'm talking about, bro? I don't get that. Yeah, if you understood how quick it could really get out of hand for real, I don't think you'd be up here playing like it ain't got out of hand. Like you saying in the Bible somewhere, man, watch what you say up out your mouth. Or that shit with that life imitates art and all that shit. Y'all be sitting up here playing all these, man. You'll fuck around and cause a real situation for yourself where you ain't even got to play no more. It's real. You don't even want that shit on yourself. Like if ain't nobody told you, it ain't nothing wrong with just being normal or cool, folks. It ain't nothing wrong with loving people. It ain't nothing wrong with having friends. It ain't nothing wrong about being understanding, being considerate. Did you know you don't even have to argue with people? Yeah, no, you don't. Did you know you don't even have to debate with people? Do you know you could walk around people and y'all can have conversations where everybody agree? And even if everybody don't agree, they know how to agree to disagree. You get what I'm saying? But do you realize life ain't about riding around killing people and wearing ski masks and chasing bitches and you know what I'm talking about, man? And dating single mamas and being high about just all that shit, bro. It's just everyday life, bro. You could just be regular, normal, folks. You know what I'm talking about? But I think they got y'all stuck inside you know how they be saying do it for the culture. I think they got that vision stuck inside your head. So now, but I used to be like that when I was selling dope. That's why I tell you I get it. You know what I'm talking about? Like I was on Earth, but I was stuck inside the house on the hill, Candy Cougars, and you know what I'm talking about? All that shit to come with the dope gang. Carbon Chronicles. Having dope riding around in turf vans and you know all that shit, boats and jet skis, all that shit to come with the dope gang. But I think they got y'all stuck inside the mansion party, the boat party. You know what I'm talking about? So, uh, what ends up happening is like you overlook the life you really living, and you put a pressure on yourself like you ain't living because You ain't at the mansion parties or the boat party. So all the little shit you doing, you make it little. You know what I'm talking about? So you make your real life little because that's what you see as big. You know what I'm talking about? And I was off subject a little bit. That's just where that shit'll take you. But on this sucker safety, that shit just bullshit. Cause a lot of motherfuckers, as I told you, that's just another form of that leverage shit. And that's how a lot of y'all fuck with it. You know what I'm talking about? Just that sucker safety. Just like how y'all be trying to blackball people and shit. Try to get a whole bunch of other people not to fuck with them. Try to make that one person look this certain way. You know what I'm talking about? Sucker safety. But that shit just sucker shit. You know what I'm talking about? You over here fucking with somebody not based on what you was prepared to do. You over here riling all this shit up and doing this shit based on somebody you prepared to call. Coffee Chronicles. And like I'm said, what normally happens in them situations, you keep on and you keep on until something happen and you ain't gonna even have a chance to call nobody. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about you got did wrong. You might have got jumped on. It wasn't your fault. You know what I'm talking about? You might be into a little something. You need to call your people. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about you going over there fucking with people like you think because of the people you could call that didn't change the person you is. So now you walking around hella arrogant. You walking around starting shit. You inside everything. You walking around with an arrogance. But your arrogance don't even come from the person you is. It comes from the people you can call. Coffee Chronicles. And I'm going to throw this out there real quick. Because once again, I've been up here too long. The people you could call, minus the police, they get tired of you too though. But I'm just talking about the real people. Do you ever think they get tired of you calling them? Do you ever think the real people you could call, the ones that's really about that shit that's gonna come lay it all on the line, do you ever stop and think that them people is tired of you calling them about that petty ass shit? You know what's gonna happen in a minute? Them people gonna stop fucking with you and you ain't gonna be able to call them no more. But when that happened right there, you change the person who you is. You don't walk around with that arrogance no more. Like if the police told you, you better not call them one more time or you going to jail. At that point right there, you'll change the person you is. You wouldn't walk around with that arrogance no more because you don't have that safety net. You get what I'm saying? You don't have that invisible backup. You get what I'm saying? So at that point right there, you wouldn't even be that motherfucker you just was. Then you'll be the real person. You know what I'm talking about? You, like I said, you'll walk around with a little bit more caution. You wouldn't be over there fucking with people and shit. You wouldn't be agitating shit. You know what I'm talking about? Because you ain't got that sucker safety no more. You know what I'm talking about? But that shit just some bullshit people. Excuse me. It is. And in this society, in this day and age right here, we have the desire to do just that. We have the desire to come around, and for some unknown reason to me, we try to push people to their limits. We try to frustrate people to their limits because somehow we get a kick out of that. You know what I'm talking about? It's, that trolling shit. But in the real world, we actually like to come around and get under people's skin. We actually like to come around and just like take you to the limits. We try to frustrate you as much as we can because somewhere on this file format world we living in, they done told you that was amusing. Just think about that for a minute. Close your eyes, folks, and think about that for a minute. That's amusing, bruh. You around here fucking with people, don't know what these people are going through, but you doing this shit based on your sucker safety. Because you can do whatever you want to. You can fuck with somebody whether they feel like playing or not, or whatever. You got the right to do whatever you want to. You know what I'm talking about? But if they react the way you don't want them to, or you got something for them. Coffee Chronicles. You should just want to leave people alone. You should just want to shut up and mind your own business. You shouldn't even you should have something to do that you locked into to where you ain't even got time to even see all that shit like that. But yeah, it's cold, folks. Sucker safety. It's cold, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? And ain't nothing you can do about it though. You just don't be that person, bruh. Don't be that person walking around here with that false arrogance and that false just all that bullshit, talking loud, fucking with people in this day and age, fucking with people. Cause you trying to frustrate somebody because they told you this was amusement. This is a hee hee ha ha. This is a giggle giggle. You know what I'm talking about? Hee hee key key. You know what I'm talking about? This all that. Watch this and all that shit right there, bruh. And you running around here fucking with people in these times and this inflation, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Somebody snap on you. That shit just kid shit, bruh. Like how you used to see little kids fucking with old people, and you been to see an old person snapping little kids. Somebody tired of them playing with him, he grown. Like the grown people do that shit to other grown people now. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all don't know how to leave people alone. And you don't know how to leave people alone because they didn't gave you a false confidence that because I told you what we good for. And let me get up out of here. We good for fucking with people, then trying to tell them how they should react. You know what I'm talking about? We good at just walking up to people, fucking with them for no reason, and then telling them what they shouldn't have took some kind of way. You was just playing, you know what I'm talking about? But you would just walk up and fuck with somebody. You ain't ever thought maybe you shouldn't have did that. No, you ain't gonna run that across yourself. So you'll go up there and straight fuck with somebody, and then somehow come out your mouth and try to talk the crowd into how this person overreacted. They shouldn't have did that and all that. Like you can dictate how somebody react after you fuck with them. You know what I'm talking about? And that's the one we real good for. And you do that shit because you got that sucker safety in the back of your mind. You know what I'm talking about? In the back of your mind, you so confident in whoever you think you can go get or the police, you so confident in that shit. You walk around with that shit like it's your magic cloak or something. You know what I'm talking about? You walk around with an arrogance that nobody better not fuck with you because you either gonna call whoever you think you can go get or the police coming. That's now do it if you want to. You know what I'm talking about? But that's just a bad uh understanding to have, bruh. You know what I'm talking about? Because if you do that shit long enough, you're gonna run into a situation where you're not gonna have a chance to call nobody. But what do I know? Only you could prevent forest fires, man. With that one right there, if you don't remember nothing else, always remember don't call nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Just to show a little bit of that love, man.